Morning in Holt Park, and welcome to the Every Bus vlog. It's not common to see people making videos on buses. When I make these videos, sometimes the drivers ask what I'm doing. The most common reaction to my very weird hobby is disbelief, a sort of, why would you do that to yourself? Occasionally I get a slightly better reaction, usually a shrug. Occasionally I get a much worse reaction, with one idiot passive-aggressively filming me on his phone while I was sitting upstairs with a camera pointing at the road ahead. Today I had easily the most positive reaction I've ever had. I'll let the driver introduce himself.
So, hello guys. Today I'm with my friend Carl here today, and we're bus driving. I've been bus driving for the last 8 years, and I'm working for SquarePeg at the moment on the Route 31's Horsford Circular, and I'm taking my friend Carl here, going on this epic journey, shall I say, around Horsford Circular today, and we're gonna make a day of it today. Good luck guys, have fun.
And with that, two routes today, the 30 and the 31. The 31 is a SquarePeg route that's sometimes known as the Horsford Circular. It starts at Holt Park, heads into Horsford via one of two different routes, loops around the arse end of town, then heads back to Holt Park by the other route. Then it does the same thing again in reverse, 5 times a day. Looks really confusing on a map, and I can explain it, so you'll just have to trust me that it makes sense. The 30 is a refreshingly straightforward and quite short Yorkshire buses route. It's a relatively speedy one between Horsforth and Pudsey that's almost but not quite direct. I filmed this on the same day as the last episode in which I went up Ilkley Moor, Bartat. I decided I'd ride the 31 all the way around because it was going to be a tight connection in Horsforth anyway. The bus that I took could be described as anti-clockwise to the extent that that makes a difference. We started out from Holt Park heading north up to Cookridge Village Hall. We've been here twice before on what was then the number 6, now the number 23, and again on the 940, and not much has changed in the past few months. Not a few minutes later we're passing Horsforth Station, signalling that we're entering Horsforth proper, and the 31's circular part ends here. Thanks to Horsforth's one-way system, from this point on the route is the same for all runs. We pass Morrison's and we have our first timing point in Horsforth. The driver mentions that we've got no fewer than 6 timing points in Lower Horsforth, and it's very rare that you can safely stop and wait at any of them. Mainly because there are always cars parked obstructing the bus stops, so the driver has to intentionally run a few minutes late. Seems a bit ridiculous if you ask me, but what do I know, I'm just a vlogger. We do go and pick our way around Lower Horsforth, and soon enough I see exactly what he means. Honestly, there isn't much to see apart from some nice houses, some cramped streets with cars double parked, and new roadside again. I'm getting this incredible sense of deja vu. Before long though, we are heading back into Horsforth proper, and I hop off the bus at Morrison's. I had planned on stopping off at the in-store cafe for lunch because I'd been on the road for several hours at this point. I had almost an hour before my final bus of the day would head down to Pudsey. Unfortunately, the Morrison's cafe is now closed, so I had to settle for one of the many other cafes in central Horsforth. Thankfully, Horsforth's not exactly short of options. I ended up making it to the bus stop in plenty of time for my last bus of the day, the number 30 to Pudsey. So I set my camera up across the road and started filming some of the other local buses. Perhaps the most notable ones to pass were a couple of first buses that weren't in service. They're the number 50s at the ends of their runs and repositioning to start their next trips. There was also this number 9, a nice familiar old sight. I covered the Not So Super Loop a while ago, just before I covered the 50s in fact. I'll link those videos in cards if I remember. If I don't remember, they were episodes 9 and 10. The number 30 arrived and was easily the most worrying bus I've ever boarded. Yorkshire buses are, despite the apparently lofty name, quite a small operator. They don't have a huge amount of money. so it's not unreasonable for the bus to have a filthy windscreen. They need to spend their money on things other than cleaning the upstairs windows. I was a bit worried by the smashed glass, but it seemed to be holding okay. I wasn't going to touch it and find out though. The 30 is a short, straightforward route. It runs between Horsforth and Pudsey via Calverley. It's only about 20 odd minutes from end to end, and it runs 4 times a day. Calverley is an ancient village in western Leeds, although it must be said that it's closer to Bradford than it is to Leeds. It's very much part of the Bradford conurbation these days. If you ask Google Maps, it'll tell you that the only bus service through Calverley is the airline number 60 or 60A, but the 30 does go through 4 times a day as well. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to see any of the pretty bits of Calverley. We sort of cut through the housing estate. There was a farm and a really nice park though. From Calverley, it's a quick blast along Woodall Lane, and quick as you like, we're in Pudsey. We cut through the western side of town, and we pull into the bus station, which is our last stop for today. We've been here a few times before, so we all know what to expect at this point. If you've enjoyed the trip, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, or visit the Patreon where you can watch these episodes free and ad-free, or for less than the price of a day ticket, you can see them whenever they happen to be done. And whatever else, please don't forget to thank your driver. Oh, one more thing. I've been talking about Pudsey Market the last few times I've been through here, but I've never actually been to it. We've seen it in passing, but we've never been in. Since I'm ending my day here in Pudsey, this is the ideal opportunity to go exploring. I made sure that I filmed this on a market day so I could see the market in full swing. That was Pudsey Market. I hope you enjoyed the much anticipated exploration.